What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and I want to talk about this Tyreek Hill a little bit more. Now, the other day on my video, I was speaking about the demeanor of some of the officers, and I more so leaned into those points whenever the situation became excessive. But I do want to talk about Charles Barkley's comments, some of Stephen A's comments from the other day, and what people can do to take preventative measures from it getting to that point. Tyreek Hill was not compliant with the officers, and the way he was talking to him, the way he rolled his window back up, is a masterclass on what not to do if you're pulled over by the police. And I said that in the first video, don't do that, because they want to make it home. You need to be visible at all times, especially if you done rolled the window down and then you roll it back up. We've seen time and time again, there's actual footage of people doing all kinds of things when they roll the window back up. Now, he's Tyreek Hill, and yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but that's not what you want to do. And I understand people of color get mad when you push back at anything that was done by Tyreek Hill in that video. My point is, I just want you to make it home safe. Even be mad at me, be mad at everybody else, but I do want you to follow the proper protocol and don't do anything to give them a reason. Now, we have enough cops that will do bad things for no reason, so we know that that's a factor too. But you don't want to agitate the situation. Now, I see he was close by the arena. You could even see some of the fans looking back and everything. I'm gonna play the clip of him speeding by first and foremost, and I'm gonna show you what Charles Barkley said. Let's peep it.
What's your speeding? Move forward.
So, I don't know what happened. I think it clearly escalated quickly.
Yes.
I hate that we're going to throw it in the media, because, the guys are going to quickly go to race.
Yeah.
And it bothers me because we don't know what happened, because
We weren't there.
because we got so many fools in the media who love to play the race card. I says, well, wait a minute. They just did the same thing to Scotty Scheffler.
They did.
Right. I says, sometimes I think the one thing you can't do as a celebrity, you can't say you know who I am. And like I say, I don't know what happened, but that's the one thing you cannot do.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
You say yes, sir.
Yep.
Cooperate 100%. And like I say, I don't know what happened, but like I say, when we let these fools on TV and the radio start talking about it, they go straight to, was it racism? I'm like, well, wait a minute now. We don't know that. And I saw the police report say he was uncooperative. So like I say, but the one thing I hate when we put stuff in the media, we let guys who race bait start throwing stuff out there. Like I say, wait a minute, the same thing just happened to Scotty Scheffler, who actually got booked.
Yes.
Yeah, he actually got booked.
He went down.
He went down to the big house.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Tyreek Hill, we also can't let him completely off the hook based on the statement that was made by the police department in Florida. They said, quote unquote, he was cooperative. He was uncooperative. We have a responsibility on this show, in any kind of platform that we have, to make sure we're doing what we can to save lives, to make sure that we're doing what we can to ensure that somehow, some way, you get to live another day and fight that battle. We know how wrong they were. The police were excessive. No excuses. They should be ashamed of themselves, the way they acted. They just went overboard. Totally true. Especially when it came to Calais Campbell as well, who did nothing and put his arms up. He was no threat whatsoever, okay? They told him to step back. He stepped back. He let them know that was his friend. Another teammate, Janu Smith, comes in there. He's by his car. He's on the phone. He's clearly not posing any threat. The police officers were definitely agitated. They were wrong. Here's the problem. We all came on the air seeing the initial footage in complete, unadulterated support for Tyreek Hill. You pull over. They tell you to roll down your window. What's the first thing Shannon just talked about? The first thing they do when they pull us over, they pull me over, all my windows are down. My hands on the steering wheel. That is not what Tyreek Hill did. Tyreek Hill had his window up. The officer bangs on, knocks on his window. He didn't bang on his window. He knocked on his window. You hesitated to pull it down. The first thing you say is, don't bang on my window like that. Don't bang on my window like that. Don't bang on my window like that. He asked you for your driver's license. You hesitated to give him your driver's license. You said in the post-game conference, hey, y'all, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? What if you weren't Tyreek Hill? What would have happened to you if somebody that wasn't Tyreek Hill kept the windows rolled up, hesitated to roll it down, didn't give you the license immediately when you asked for it, and then hesitated to get out the car when they told you to get out the car? See, we got to be responsible.
So we can acknowledge that the cops became excessive, after the situation escalated, but we got to acknowledge that this is not what we would show our children on how to interact with the cops if they're pulled over. If anyone's mad about anything that was said, just ask yourself, would you tell your children to engage with officers this way? If they pull over, they tap on your window, roll down the window, talk to them. I've even had some officers come to my car aggressively, and I'm not no Tyreek Hill, but the way I spoke made them feel a little more comfortable. Don't know what they dealt with. Don't know what situations they done been in throughout the day or whatever. They don't know what I've been through, obviously. But the man with the gun that's approaching my car, he has the ups. So if they do something, which could still happen, they're going to have to jump out the window, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to give them no reason for it to be justifiable, especially with body cam footage nowadays. I'm not giving them a chance to be justified and taking, drastic action against me by calling, rolling the window back up, being hostile when they walk over, then, talking that young thug talk, calling them twin and all that stuff. I'm not doing that. Because I do want to make it back home to my family at the end of the day, and I want to give myself the best chance to do that. And I think a lot of times when we have these conversations, people don't want to take accountability because of some of the things that's happened to people who've done everything right. It's not taken away from just the downright evil people that wanted to execute upon arrival, and that's what they were going to do regardless, and it wasn't warranted. But it does make it crazy, for some of us who's going to do things right, when someone that looks like us is very hostile, or I ain't going to say very hostile, but was a bit hostile, like Tyreek Hill. Again, old boy went overboard. You knew it was Tyreek Hill. You knew you were right in front of the arena. You have to assess the situation and know what you were doing, because if you hurt Tyreek Hill, you're going to have an issue for cops in that area. If you hurt, think about how fanatical fans are. If you hurt Tyreek Hill, you're going to have issues outside of your workplace and everything, So, again, I just didn't like the way Tyreek started it off. He could have been on his merry way. And when we see that footage of him zooming by, really, he was going way too fast. Because you could see that's the area where they block everything off, and, players come in and arrive at the arena. And you saw the first few cars that was going by at one speed, and you saw Tyreek just zoom out by the frame. You saw him zoom by the frame. So the cops ain't lying about his excessive speed. I mean, we have tape of that, right? We can't deny that. And at the end of the day, he was able to go and he played that day, so, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with these officers. I know the public backlash more than anything probably get them, but they not gonna really get no trouble behind this one. Again, I do think they were excessive, but you know, Tyreek Hill could have done more positive early on and really got up out of there, because he got Calais Campbell arrested for being around. You know, I think they were a little excessive towards Calais because he had his hands up. He didn't do anything. Then you got the other teammate, Smith, who they were talking about, let me see your license. Now the cop, he was being unprofessional at that point. But again, we got to take responsibility and do things the proper way initially, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. I would love to hear your feedback. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.